Hiit versus Liss. Take a snapshot, take a picture, save this on your phone for future reference. Boom! Hello world, it's your boy J Living Fit, and I have returned with yet another video. And I'm out here enjoying this beautiful NYC weather. It's like 90 degrees currently, but I just wanted to get out here and have some different scenery for you guys, and so we can discuss a really important topic. And the topic of today, you've seen the title of the video already: Hiit versus Liss for fat loss. Which one is better? And let me get this out here right now. Number one important rule is a caloric deficit. You need to be ingesting less calories than your body requires for its metabolism, so that you can mobilize those fat stores and utilize that as energy so that you can lose weight and lose fat. So rule number one, you got to be in a caloric deficit. Doesn't matter what kind of cardio you're doing, all right? Bar none, by any means necessary, you need to be in a caloric deficit before you even think about Hiit versus Liss cardio. So what's the difference between the two? Low intensity steady state cardio is where you're going at a low intensity steady state pace. Is pretty self-explanatory. If I'm doing a nice little jog around a reservoir and I can maintain it for 30-45 minutes without stopping, that's low intensity steady state cardio. My heart rate is only going up to 60 to 70% of its maximum. Okay, this amount of cardio you can maintain for a long amount of time. Marathon runners, they do lots of Liss cardio. Now, Hiit cardio is more of a sprinter's type of workout, where you're going at maximum interval bursts in which you're utilizing a lot of energy in a short amount of time. So you go all out for like 20-30 seconds, and then you rest for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, however your activity level is. Now, let's get to the whiteboard and let's see which one is actually better for overall fat loss. So we discussed the difference between the two. Now in the red, Hiit cardio uses the anaerobic system, and this is the system in which the body uses energy without oxygen. Okay, normally the body needs oxygen to break down nutrients, glucose, into ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is our body's actual usable fuel source. Okay, we need oxygen to do that, but there's going to be times that we don't have enough oxygen, in which we're lifting at a high intensity or we're sprinting at a high intensity, in which we need to still do the work. Okay, we need to still get things done. If you got to sprint to the bus, you still got to do it, even if you don't have enough oxygen or not. But what happens is your body has to go into debt, and this is 1 point for Hiit. Ding ding ding. When your body goes to the debt, okay, when you perform Hiit cardio, high intensity interval training, after you're done, studies have shown that it incurs a phenomenon known as the EPOC effect, EPOC, which stands for excess post-oxygen consumption. And this means that your resting metabolic rate is elevated, okay? This also means that those catecholamines, which are the hormones that are responsible for mobilizing fat for energy, is also elevated. Your growth hormone is also elevated. We've also seen that there's appetite suppression when you do Hiit cardio. So Hiit cardio has tons of benefits to it. You're burning more calories throughout the day because you have that EPOC effect from high intensity interval training. That's why it's very, very much so praised when it comes to accelerating body fat. I really, really love Hiit cardio, and I think it's a fantastic way of taking your fat loss to the next level. Now, do I recommend it for everyone? No. If you're an overweight person, you're just getting started to working out, Hiit cardio is going to be very demanding on the body. Also, if you're training your legs multiple times throughout the week, HIIT cardio is going to be very demanding on your legs. So for example, like me, I like to train legs 3 times a week, but if I incorporate HIIT cardio, I can only do it up to twice a week. Anything more than that, and it's overkill for my legs. So you have to know how to balance HIIT cardio between your leg workouts. I also want to recommend it for anybody with joint injuries in the lower body. So if you have hip injuries or knee ailments or ankle pains, inflammation, anything like that in your lower body area, then I would not recommend HIIT cardio for you, because it's very intense, it's very impactful, and you can run the risk of getting injured or making your injury worse. Alright, so Liss cardio. How do I feel about Liss cardio? Well, let's see. Liss cardio utilizes the aerobic system, and that's where the body, we use oxygen to break down glucose into a usable ATP form. Unlike HIIT cardio, you don't use oxygen. Liss, you use oxygen. With that being said, you utilize the type 1 slow twitch muscle fibers, which aren't responsible for making you bigger and stronger. They're just responsible for being fatigue resistant and allow you to endure long periods of activity. Okay, so if you're standing up for a while, you're utilizing those type 1 muscle fibers in your back and in your core to maintain your posture, because they can work for a long amount of time. With that being said, Liss cardio, you can do it for a long amount of time and you won't really run into getting fatigued. Okay, you can do Liss cardio almost every day without impairing your workouts, your actual strength training workouts, which is a benefit because you can do it more often. You can even go up to doing 2 days on Liss cardio and still not run into the point to where your cardio is impeding on your strength training workouts. So that's one of the benefits of Liss cardio. You can do it much more often. You guys hear that ambulance in the back? Anyways, you can do it much more often in comparison to HIIT cardio. You can't do it as often because you're utilizing the fast twitch muscle fibers with HIIT cardio, and they fatigue really fast. And you also run the risk of impeding on your strength training workouts, whereas Liss cardio utilize a different energy system, so you can do it much more often and you don't run into the point where your energy systems clash and you end up overtraining. So as you guys can see, I pretty much discussed everything on the whiteboard. Take a picture of it, snapshot, boom, boom. And so the answer is it HIIT or is it Liss? Or is it HIIT Liss? Is cardio on your HIIT list? I am going to say that you have to make the decision on which one is best for you. Now, I'll make the decision easier for you by canceling out certain statements or scenarios. So scenario number 1, if you're an older person and you have a nagging knee injury or an ankle injury or a hip injury, or even if you're a younger person and you have an injury in the lower body area, I would not recommend HIIT cardio because it can be tough on your joints. Okay? Now, if you are a younger person and you have healthy joints, you recover very fast, and you want to accelerate fat loss, HIIT cardio is the way to go, bro. If you're an overweight individual and you just can't sustain high levels of activity, then I will recommend Liss cardio for you until you lose more weight. Then you can incorporate HIIT cardio. Alright? For me right now, I'm doing both, a combination of HIIT and Liss. I'm definitely doing HIIT to reap those benefits of the EPOC effect, increase your resting metabolic rate, so that I am burning more calories throughout the day. Who doesn't like burning calories while playing video games? You get what I'm saying? And increasing the catecholamine effect, increasing the growth hormones, and appetite suppression. This has all been proven by multiple studies. If you guys want me to link it, I will link it in the description box below. And like I said, it's all up to you depending on your goals and depending on where you are currently. So I want you to make the decision based off of the information given to you guys. I don't just want to hand feed you everything. I want you to make a very smart, cerebral, thoughtful, intellectual decision, and the only way you can do so is if you get the knowledge. And I've distributed the knowledge to you guys, and now it's time for you to make a decision. Is it Hit or is it Liss? Or do both? Alright? With that being said, it's your boy J Living Fit, and I'm out. Peace!
More calories than your body requires to maintain its metabolism, so that you can have enough nutrients to synthesize muscle tissue, whatever it is that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's really all there is to it. But you gotta even quantify it.
Yeah, I was 44 pounds for sure. That was now 38 pounds for sure. Now,
nice.
Now I'm 42 pounds short. I gained weight again at one time.
Ah, I see, I see.
We gotta put this somewhere too, right?
Can't have it about
How many percent? Yeah.
Understand.
Alright.
Understand it.
I'm gonna watch you put the truck on. Nobody gets on it.
I'm the captain now. I'm the chosen one. Yeah.